Welcome to Sports Today. Firstly, commiserations and sincere condolences to Veda Krishnamurthy. This is just awful news. Within 2 weeks of losing her mother, she's lost her sister in the battle against COVID. I mean, this we don't know anything about this virus even after 15 months. It seems like that. Yes, medical protocols have been evolved. There is treatment. People are getting okay. But when someone near you leaves you, none of us will understand. None of us will even have the the courage to face up to such a situation. So all we can say is prayers with her, thoughts with her, sincere condolences. May God give her the strength to face up to this situation. But as I said, and there are many who have lost their loved ones. Thoughts go out to each one of them. Every single day, somebody close to you, somebody you know, somebody near you, young people, many sports journalists who I know, acquaintances have passed away. It's just a very helpless and a kind of a deadly uh, virus which is impossible almost to sort of deal with. That is why, you know what, you've got to be at home, you've got to buckle down. I was reading an interview by Gagandeep Kang today, one of India's best, and she says that towards the third part of May, basically between the 20th and the 30th, the peak of the second wave is expected, and then it'll climb down pretty drastically, is what Gagandeep Kang, Professor Kang, has said. And many other models have said the same. So it's not one model; it's many other models. So it clearly means, and if you see states and cities, Maharashtra is better. Mumbai, the positivity rate from 20 is down to 11. Delhi from 32 to 24. These are silver linings. I mean, today the Delhi positivity rate is 24.4% from 32%. So that is a silver lining. Oxygen yesterday was 700 metric tons supplied to Delhi. So these are little positives which we have to clutch on to. I mean, it's awful that each of us are struggling for oxygen. Each of us are struggling for very basics which we take for granted, and it's sad. Anand Vasu, our dear, one of our colleagues, has tweeted that there was a mention in the Australian media about Australian players escaping India. For God's sake, India has given you a lot. You come to the IPL, you take India's riches. Don't tell us you escaped India. You haven't. I mean, we are in this fight together. So the little you can do is show sensitivity. You haven't escaped India. There are a billion people who are fighting this, and Anand is absolutely right when he says that. Absolutely right. Many people have asked me about Indian players and the fight against COVID. Believe me, each one of them, in their individual capacities, are doing enough, are doing tremendous amounts. Uh, let's start with someone who's just put it out today, Lakshmi Ratan Shukla. Lakshmi Ratan Shukla is a very good friend. Today is his birthday, so I wish him a safe birthday. And Lakshmi Ratan Shukla was doing Bengali commentary during the IPL for the host broadcaster Star Sports, and he has all of the days that he's done, he's just donated that entire amount of money to the Chief Minister's Relief Fund in the fight against COVID. And there are many such. So Lakshmi, well done. These little things matter. Many of us, in our own individual capacities, each one of us rather, are trying. And Lakshmi, your gesture will go a long way. Will go a long way. It will at least save some lives. And I know for a fact that even when you were a politician and after that, you have helped people enormously, whether it is about medicines, about hospital beds. I know for a fact. I mean, if you see social media, go check social media, you will know this. Mansi Joshi, and our Paralympic champion in badminton. Mansi is absolutely amazing. Go check what Mansi Joshi is doing. Anyone and everyone, if someone's suffering in her part of the world, in Hyderabad and around, she's sort of stepping up, jumping in, doing everything possible to try and help. Whether it is about amplifying in the social media domain to try and reach out to people who matter, to reach out to healthcare providers, to try and help in every possible way. Mansi has been brilliant. Take Manika Batra. She has been absolutely fantastic. Take Manu Bhakar. She has been fantastic as well. Each one of them, each one of our athletes in their own individual domains, Abhinav Bindra has been absolutely phenomenal in coming forward in supporting this fight against COVID. And I know whether it is social media amplification, whether it is about getting oxygen concentrators, whether it is about making calls. I can't tell you what all people are doing and donating themselves. Take Gautam Gambhir. Yes, you can say Gautam is a politician, but that's fine. I mean, 200 oxygen concentrators, and leave alone that political part. I'm not interested in the political part at all. But 200 oxygen concentrators, multiple people being helped by Gautam Gambhir under his foundation and several other initiatives. I know Sachin Tendulkar is supporting multiple intensive care unit patients, supporting foundations, donating money for oxygen, donating money to NGOs. Virat Kohli is making a big effort in this fight against COVID. So is Rohit Sharma. So when I go down that sports route, it gives me hope. It gives me hope because each one of them, Suresh Raina, making serious contributions. Suresh Raina, yes, he's made that point that how helpless we all are, and it's absolutely right. I mean, if you read my piece in one of the leading newspapers today, in the Times of India, the op-ed, it's very little about the virus that we know. We still don't know much. Having said that, what we do know is each of these contributions will go in a long way in saving lives. Pulela Gopichand making a significant contribution. Jhulan Goswami, again, I know for a fact that Jhulan is contributing with money, helping people, making calls, putting them in contact with people, trying to get medicine, trying to get oxygen, trying to help out with beds. Each of us have tried to do this in our own little domains. Take Vikrant Gupta, take GS Vivek, our colleague in ABP News. Each one of them, Vivek, Neeru, take Neeru Bhatia, each one of them have stepped up and done enormously in that in the fight against COVID. Take Vijay Lokpalli. Vijay has lost one of his dear ones the other day, and I was reading his social media post. Heart goes out. I mean, commiserations and condolences. Vijay Lokpalli trying to help Neeru, everyone. I mean, the moment, and each of us are small groups. There is this sports journalist in HT who was struggling in Calcutta. All of them amplified. Vivek reached out to me. I tried to pitch in. Kushan Sharkar, Kushan is doing everything possible. Oroni Basu, our little gang. I mean, whether it is the player in a high profile player like a Virat Kohli or a Sachin Tendulkar or a Rohit Sharma or a Suresh Raina or anyone there, or whether it is a meager sports journalist. I mean, somebody who are part of our fraternity like us. Each one of us are trying to pitch in, and that's how it will work. Because at one point in time, civil society has to step up this fight. Sunil Chetri doing enormously. Sahal Abdul Samad, who is considered the future of Indian football, put out a tweet a couple of weeks back saying, I will use my social media handle to amplify any such crisis that anyone is facing. Use my social media handle so that we can reach out to the people who can make a difference. So well done, Sahal Abdul Samad. Parth Jindal from JSW. Parth obviously is one of India's leading industrialists. Parth has stepped forward and said that the JSW facility will be utilized for the Indian Olympic athletes so that they can come there and train. It is one of the best facilities so that they are protected against COVID. We have heard that a number of our athletes, including today morning, I heard Apurvi Chandela has been diagnosed with COVID. Switzerland has denied visas to our archers, whether it is an Atanu Das or Deepika Kumari, because of the COVID situation in India. Look how unfortunate this is. Mansi Joshi could not travel for the qualification tournament, the last qualification tournament. This is where it becomes an unequal world. And it's staring us at the face and saying, yes, it is an unequal world. Indian athletes, unfortunately, cannot travel to Switzerland being denied visas. Mansi Joshi cannot travel abroad to play the last qualification tournament because of the COVID situation in our country. But what can you do? I mean, you always have to look at the glass full rather than glass half empty. And that is why each one of them, from their individual capacities, have come together in this fight against COVID to try and make a difference, a little difference. And you know what? You cannot. I mean, I have to say this. Anyone listening to this broadcast or on social media, it is not about chest thumping and saying, "Oh, I've done it." Each one of them have. No one has to give an examination on social media. No one. If you have contributed 10 rupees or made one person benefit by getting medicines or a bed or helped with an oxygen cylinder, you are a huge hero in my eyes, a huge hero. You don't need to browbeat and come on social media and say, oh, you know what, I've done this, or feel that, oh, what, I've just contributed one oxygen cylinder while somebody else has contributed a crore of rupees. How does it matter? It is about each of us in our own individual capacities and little capacities trying to save lives. I would say anyone listening to this broadcast, whenever vaccines are available, if you get a slot, get one more person vaccinated. I was speaking to a number of corporates, number of leading corporates, and I know, take Abhishek Ganguly from Puma, for example. Abhishek has stepped up, providing oxygen concentrators, providing oxygen, getting people vaccinated. They're even in talks about adopting a village. They are making significant contributions in the sporting domain, because Abhishek, Puma has a significant foothold in the sports media industry. So that's what I wanted to focus on today. Let me take some questions if there are. Yes, there are plenty of questions. Good evening. Condolences to Veda. Speed, there are Veda who. I really don't want to get into an argument today. If you ask Veda who, then for God's sake, don't watch the show. The return of the natives. Stay safe. Absolutely. Boria sir, when will Indian team announce for WTC? Maybe in a couple of weeks. Indian team do in the month of July. They have the full series against England, Prathamesh. It starts in July and it will continue all of July and all of August. So they will be in England. There are matches. It won't be India A, so there will be mixed teams. It's no longer India A, but it will be a big contingent that will go to England at that point in time. So they will play with county teams and they will get ready for the 5 test match series against England. So obviously no question uh, obviously no question that the Indian team will be there. Interview Gaurav on Saurav's interview. Saurav has spoken to the Telegraph as well. Just before the show, I got about a few minutes late because I was actually on a call with Saurav about other issues, about vaccination, etc. So he and I keep talking, and I know for a fact that the BCCI will try. I know there are multiple options on the table, but it's just been one day. But at this point in time, it's still very up in the air. It's still very, very up in the air. Nothing concrete, nothing has been finalized. So I will come back to you. I know Saurav is very, very keen. So is the board, the other members. They stand to lose a lot of money, which could have been utilized to keep the cricket ecosystem going. It would have benefited huge number of people. And I keep saying this, the IPL is livelihood. It is not simply, people who say it's an optics, that people say it's entertainment. It is not entertainment. So yeah, I will come back to you with details from Saurav anytime. When will 2021 resume? There is no confirmation about Indro Mundal. There are plans about September. There are talks about November after the World Cup, be it in the UAE, be it in the UK. So there are multiple permutations, combinations that are still on the table. The BCCI is keen, but Saurav knows it's a tough ask. He also knows it will be impossible in India. He has to go to the other boards. He has to get the other boards convinced that he wants to resume the IPL. He will have to get to the ICC, clear out a window, try and see when he can get all the players together. So his board has its task cut out. There are very, very important concerns out there. Dhoni is still there with team as long as foreign players. Absolutely, MS, no question, is fantastic. Mahi staying out there, and that's why he's a leader. That's why MS Dhoni is the leader. I mean, he's absolutely there with his players, so that before the last boy leaves, Michael Hussey is still in India. The rest of the Aussie boys have all reached Maldives, and from there they will, be there till the time the Australian government opens up the entry point from India 15th of May. Then the Aussie boys can go back. The English boys have all gone back. New Zealand boys will. Mumbai Indians, for example, tremendous. I mean, all credit to Reliance and the Mumbai Indians. They are sending them back by charter flights, and they've also taken New Zealand players from other teams. They're sending them back by charter flights to the Caribbean. That's what it is all about. Everyone pooling in resources and doing what they possibly can. The Mumbai Indians, it's a fantastic gesture. Fantastic gesture. Series be preponed, start in July and we complete by September. Rahul, England-India Test series is 200 times more important than the IPL. Okay, let's be clear here. The IPL is a domestic competition. India-England Test series is 200 times more important than the IPL. Forever will be. So it's not that simple. Tickets in England is almost back to normal. Tickets have been sold. Oval Test match, for example, if you search, tickets are available. You can go and check. All of these are predetermined commitments which teams have to honor. So it's not like it's something I will change and something can be penciled in. It doesn't happen like that. uh, Sachin Chaudhary, Obonindra Mondol have answered that. Harshal Sharma, right, help individual, do please not donate. Come on, don't politicize this platform. Ivana Thomas, let's not even bother about funds. Share one person's request. Absolutely, Ivana. Absolutely. Share one person's request. Try and amplify whatever you can do. Every little help matters. So with you on this. So delighted. Hardik Pandya, absolutely. Hardik Pandya has already Shikhar Dhawan, Hardik Pandya, Rishabh Pant. It's not about names. All of them. Shikhar Dhawan has put a photograph about him getting vaccinated today, and that is also important according to me because there is still vaccine skepticism in the country. There is a lobby of anti-vaxxers. When you see a Shikhar Dhawan who is a role model, that also helps. Hardik Pandya has already mentioned about donating his match fees, portions of that. Jaidev Unadkat did so. All of them, as I said, in their individual capacities, the sports world has come together and doing it big time. Did Veda lose her sister due to COVID? Yes, she has. And she lost her mother 2 weeks back. That's why I said, uh, you know, it's unbelievable as to what it's like. I mean, Ajinkya Rahane, absolutely, Ajinkya Rahane is amplifying. He's donated to Vayu Mission oxygen concentrators. Ajinkya is a great guy. Ajinkya, I can tell you, is a real leader of men. And Ajinkya has not only done this, Ajinkya has amplified personal requests. He's got about millions of followers on social media. He's put them out. Each one of them have contributed in a way. Boria sir, IPL before the WC pitches be good towards. Harsh, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think the World Cup can be played in India, or at this point in time, we are in a position to say that will happen. If you really ask me, chances are slim. They will try if they can do domestic cricket if the second wave dies down. But 16 teams, 9 cities, involving travel, too big an ask. Read my op-ed today, Harsh. You will understand. What about ISL? Too far away. I'm pretty sure it will happen because the moment it's one city, like it was in Goa, one city with 3 grounds, it is definitely doable because there the bubbles are not porous. The moment you add travel to the bubble, and Saurav alluded to this in his interview in one of the papers, I think to the Telegraph, the bubbles make it 200 times more difficult. Uh, okay, Virat Kohli abuse. Fair enough. If you want to abuse, you're more than welcome. Doesn't really matter. Keep going. Who will win the World Test Championship according to you? Ha, difficult to say. India does have a fantastic team, isn't it? Absolutely fantastic team, and now they will probably go slightly early as well. They will go slightly early. Asia Cup not yet decided, up in the air at this point in time. Third wave, we should be careful. Once the second wave is done, you see what, based on Professor Vijayaraghavan's thing or Gagandeep Kang's, Professor Kang's statements, if India is prepared in terms of vaccination, if the vaccination can be ramped up, and I was hearing Zydus Kadila has applied for authorization, we will get a Sputnik, another consignment coming. Obviously, Covaxin and Covishield will be ramped up. We will be in a much better position whenever the second wave hits us. Uh, Whenever the the third wave hits us, a much better position with ramping up all of this. So I don't, if we are prepared, this whole oxygen crisis could certainly have been dealt with better. MS Dhoni donates 115 crores in Jharkhand. Tremendous. I didn't know this, Satyam. Thanks for telling me. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And all of us know that MS is a true leader of men. True leader of men. Boria will not play the test in England. Is this verified? Bolt will not play the test in. No, it's not verified news. I don't know it of it yet. Uh, all of you, double mask. If we all as Indians, we will overcome. Correct. If we all double mask, or if you wear an N95 mask, if you can afford it and if you can get it according to CDC guidance. I'm doing a series with doctors in Bangla for the Bangla audience every day with health You can follow what they are saying. Uh, Whether it is fake news about MS donating, I know for a fact that MS has made significant contributions, and in the past, and always has. So there's no question. You blindly believe BCCI Amit Kumar. I don't blindly believe any damn person. Okay. So there's no BCCI worshipping, for God's sake. I have questioned the BCCI the most, whether it is against Mr. Srinivasan when he was at charge, and criticizing openly Mr. Srinivasan and the board at that point in time, to anybody, be it a Saurav Ganguly or anyone. I will hold them accountable. And I think doing it multi city was a mistake. I think adding travel to this year's IPL was a mistake. So there is no question of not criticizing the BCCI. I think by including travel in this year's IPL, we opened up a Pandora's box which made our bubbles porous. And that is a mistake. Make no mistake about it. So there is no question of not saying spade the spade. So for God's sake, do not come and give me this rubbish, because your rubbish doesn't even impact me one iota, because I will do what I want to do and my work. Please do live shows with Ogni. We'll do that. What is your next book? The next book is in the offing, but Anupam, please do read 1971, because the book is getting rave reviews, if you see everywhere on social media, and I think the book will inspire you. It is a book of aspiration and inspiration. Will go to the WTC. I don't think media will be allowed, because India will still be in the red list at this point in May. I don't think media will be allowed to travel. What will happen is the team will go. The team will go, and maybe a couple of exceptions will be made. Amit Kumar, stop spamming. Don't say anything about knowing. Boria Majumdar criticized BCCI's choice of traveling. Come on, yeah, leave it. Amit Kumar's an idiot? How do you deal with loodies and idiots? Forget the idiots. It's fine. I'm already reading Boryada. Thank you. Harry Potter, Saurav Ganguly's Chamcha. Okay, welcome. If that is the case, and who are you? Who are you, Mr. Harry Potter, hiding behind a veil of a social media domain and criticizing me? For God's sake, why don't you come forward? Uh, will IPL reschedule? That's what I said. It's very difficult. You figure out a window. Sports Today, is there no tension of WTC? No tension of WTC, because the backup is already ready, and that's the UAE. If you really ask me, India hosting it is definitely in tension. Take on the trollers, Boryada. They are idiots. I don't need to. I will do my work. Has anybody been able to sort of stop me from doing my work? That's where it ends. Ultimately, when you stand in front of the mirror at night, ask your subconscious: have you been true to yourself? This is something Sachin Tendulkar told me. He used to say, you can get a really good ball and get bowled for zero. You can. But all it matters is about your preparation and how true you are to your work. Have you given your best? I have. Matter over. Is there any scope India Pakistan series? No. India Pakistan will definitely play in the T20 World Cup. They're in different groups, but if they do qualify in one of the knockouts, they will play, because it's a multi-nation tournament. Uh, when will India go to England? Probably in the last part of June, because they'll probably now go early. That's what the talk is, from what I know. Okay, again a pretty long show. Huge number of questions there. Keep joining Sports Today, because it's very important. We keep this going. We keep this dialogue going. If you want, if you are a Bengali, I'm doing this series in Bangla with doctors. Follow my social media handles and my YouTube channel and Aaj Tak Bangla, where the series is premiering with all the leading doctors, hospital administrators, CEOs, healthcare providers, health sector people, about every possible COVID protocol. I will do more. I will do more with sports people, what they are doing, how they are doing, what is their contribution. And we've got to keep this dialogue going, because that's where the sports world needs to unite. And if any of you are in strife, if any one of you are in strife, please do tweet it out or mention to us. Each one of us will amplify. Tag me, DM me. If you're in Calcutta or any part of Bengal, do tweet, do DM. I will try and do everything I possibly can to help. That's how we will all come together. That's where I will end this show. Thank you very much for watching. Keep supporting Sports Today. Stay united. Stay united. Wear your mask. Yes, a double mask or an N95 mask if you have that. Wear an N95 mask if you go out. physical distance, and stay safe. And if you are eligible for vaccination, if it is available, because that's the biggest crisis in this country, again, no vaccines. If it is available and you get a slot, go get vaccinated. That's very, very important. On that note, thank you very much for watching.